What an earthquake victim from the Aegean region said, "We experienced a terrible shaking at around 3:30 a.m. Although the foundation of our house is on a solid rock mountain, we were thinking that it had a magnitude of 6 to 7. Not to exaggerate, but when we looked at the latest earthquakes website, we saw that it had a magnitude of 3.4 and was 3.6 kilometers deep. Frankly, we couldn't quite believe it. We have witnessed earthquakes with a magnitude of 5 to 6 before, but we have never seen an earthquake this extraordinary. The weather was very gloomy that day, and when we woke up with the earthquake, all the family members were sweating profusely, even though it was cold outside and the combi boiler was on the lowest setting, and we were having a weak shortness of breath. We heard a similar hum 3 more times over the next 2 hours. It was just like the sound made by a roller used in asphalt production. It was brief, but it was enough to scare us. My wife, I and the kids were able to sleep with difficulty, but we all had similar nightmares. This was the weirdest one for us. This was truly no ordinary earthquake. I know that area well. It is an earthquake zone. Years ago, there were hundreds of aftershocks and earthquakes in the Datka and Marmaris regions within 3 months, and there were even reports that a new island was forming under the sea. Those regions seem to have been shaped entirely by earthquakes. It is said that Lake Koiskias was formed after an earthquake that allegedly swallowed an entire village in one night. The Gokova-Sakar Pass, which is hundreds of meters high and perpendicular to the sea, the Duzan area in the center of Mugla, the Deer Canyon in Ula, etc. give us an idea of how big the ruptures were in the past. In particular, there were solid claims that the mountain range, tens of kilometers long, where the Suchikan rocks on the Aegean road are located, was once underwater. As I mentioned in my previous videos, as one place is formed, it pushes the other and makes room for it. Judging by the formations in Mugla, there have been several earthquakes of magnitude 8 and above in the past. If such a cycle is entered, there will not be a single intact house left in that area, but judging by what is being said, it is obvious that the earthquake was an artificial test earthquake. If they have set out to awaken the sleeping beast through these attempts, there is a high probability that they will succeed. Because for the last few days, small-scale, abnormal activities have been observed in cities where fault lines are connected to each other. Simultaneous activation of fault lines in coastal areas means that the entire Aegean, Mediterranean and Marmara regions will be damaged. Inspired by a scene from the 2017 film, Ocean Rising, I had previously said that according to the principle of Ordo ab Chao, meaning order coming from chaos, a magnitude 8 or higher mega-earthquake could occur in 2019 that would affect Izmir and its surroundings. Just like the August 17 earthquake, it is likely to occur either before this election or before the election before 2023. I think these earthquakes are artificial, triggered earthquakes caused by HAARP. If this mega-earthquake, which is expected just before April 1, does not occur, I do not think it will occur until 2023. On the other hand, I don't know how true the claim that gold is revealed processed with artificial earthquakes and presented to the Annunaki is, but the fact that the most important gold reserves are located around Izmir may be the answer to why a big earthquake is planned in Izmir. It seems logical that there might be a connection between the earthquake and the gold, but the issue of it being offered to the Annunaki is a bit complicated. I know that 450 tons of our gold was given not to the alien Annunaki kings/queens, but to the British kings/queens who followed in their footsteps. I guess that must be the main purpose. One way or another, capitalism does not hesitate to destroy a few million people for a few tons of gold. Whether it will be offered to the Annunaki or to the kings of the New World. Note: I had written about this subject 5 years before this video was prepared, on February 23, 2019, and said that a major earthquake could occur in Izmir before 2023. On October 30, 2020, a major earthquake with a magnitude of 6.9 occurred in Izmir and was felt in almost the entire Aegean region, including Mugla. Fortunately, there was not much loss of life or property, but my prediction was correct. This earthquake was an artificial earthquake and was most likely related to gold because the most gold is mined in Bergamo. The real devastating earthquake occurred on February 6, 2023, which is also the date I predicted before the election, but this earthquake was again artificially produced not for gold, but to build the Ordo ad Cao, or New World, New Order, that comes from chaos. At that time, some people were making fun of me by saying, these are all conspiracy theories. If they are watching this video right now, greetings to them. I hope they were able to get out of the circle.